So you're not failing publicly. Nobody at work thinks you're falling apart. Your family's not worried. If someone asks the people around you how you're doing, they probably say, he's fine. He's solid. He's got it together. And you let them think that. Because the truth is more complicated. The truth is that under the version of yourself that shows up every day, there's this low-grade feeling that you haven't actually moved, that something is stuck, that you keep arriving in that same place no matter how hard you work, no matter how much you try to change things on the outside. And the part that makes it worse, you can't even fully explain it. You don't have a crisis to point to. You don't have a dramatic reason. It's just this quiet, persistent weight, like you're running on a treadmill that looks like a road. If that's where you are right now, this video is for you. Because I've been there, and what I've learned slowly and painfully is that stuckness almost never has one cause. It's layered. And until you deal with all the layers, you keep getting the same results, no matter how many podcasts you listen to, or how many books you read, or changes you try to make. So today I want to walk you through the 3 layers I've identified in my own life and in the men I've walked alongside for a long time. And then I want to give you something real to do about it. Here's where we're going. Layer 1 is internal. It's what you believe about yourself, often without knowing you believe it. Layer 2 is relational. It's the pattern and dynamics around you that quietly hold you in place. And layer 3 is spiritual. It's the disconnection from something bigger than your own effort that leaves you running on empty even when you're doing everything right. We're going to go all 3, so stay with me. The first layer of stuckness that lives in your own head. It's the sneakiest one because you can't see it directly. You can only see the fruit of it. And here's what I mean. Most men who feel stuck aren't stuck because they lack ability or opportunity. They're stuck because somewhere along the way, they formed a belief about who they are, what they deserve, what's actually possible for them. And when that belief is running in the background like a software they never installed on purpose. And maybe it's something like this. I'm the kind of person who always makes it. Or things work out for other people, not for me. Or I can handle it, so I should handle it. Or even I don't actually deserve the life I say I want. You've never written that down. You've never said it out loud, but it's there and it filters everything, every opportunity, every risk, every moment where you could move forward, but something in you hesitates. Paul writes in Romans 12 that transformation comes through the renewal of the mind, not the improvement of circumstances, not a new plan, the renewal of the mind. And he points exactly this, that what we think at the level we're not even conscious of shapes what we do and what we become. The question for layer 1 isn't what do I want? The question is, what do I actually believe is true about me? Because that belief, not your goals, not your intentions, the belief is the ceiling. Layer 2 is the relational layer, the patterns around you. Here's the hard part about layer 2. The people and the dynamics keep you stuck aren't usually villains. They're often people you love. They're often patterns you helped create. Stuckness is relational when the system around you has learned to function with you exactly as you are and has no incentive for you to change. When you grow, you disrupt the equilibrium, and systems, families, friendships, and workplaces tend to push back toward equilibrium. So the guy who decides to stop being the one who always fixes everything suddenly gets labeled difficult. The man who decides to stop being available for every crisis becomes selfish. The one who starts saying no starts getting punished for it subtly, relationally, but real. And so he stops, not because he failed, but because the cost of changing felt higher than the cost of staying. And I've watched this happen. I've lived some version of it, and what I want to say to you is this: the patterns around you are not more powerful than the person God is making you into, but you have to be willing to let the system be uncomfortable for a season. Change requires that. Growth requires that. Proverbs 13:20 says that whoever walks with the wise becomes wise, and a companion of fools suffers harm. That's not just about who you hang out with on Friday nights. It's about who you are in proximity to every day, who shapes your sense of what's normal, what's possible, and what's acceptable. The question for layer 2 is, what does the system around me reward? And is that system pointed in the same direction I say I want to go? This is the one men tend to skip, or they acknowledge it theoretically, but don't actually deal with it. Here's what spiritual stuckness looks like in a functional, capable man. He's doing things, he's moving, he's managing responsibility, and he's hitting markers and keeping the wheels turning. But he's operating entirely out of his own strength, his own strategy, his own understanding, and underneath all that activity is a kind of exhaustion that sleep doesn't fix, a kind of emptiness that accomplishment doesn't fill, because he's disconnected, not dramatically, not in a way he can't point to. He just drifted slowly over time, the way a boat drifts without you noticing it until you look up and shore is further than you thought. Jesus says in John 15, apart from me, you can do nothing. That's a hard word for a capable man, because capable men can do a lot. The question isn't whether they can do things. The question is whether what they're building has any lasting weight to it, whether the life they're constructing is rooted in something real, or is it just in their own effort? Spiritual stuckness looks like a man who has lost his sense of direction from God, not his belief in God, not his church attendance, not his theology, his actual sense that his life is moving in a direction God is a part of. That quiet sense of being guided or being known or having a purpose that's bigger than what you can see. When that's gone, no amount of strategy, productivity, or self-improvement fills the gap. You optimize the way into a better organized emptiness. And the question for layer 3 is, when is the last time you actually listened? Not prayed at God, listened to him. So here's what I want you to sit with. If you feel stuck and nobody around you knows it, the reason is almost certainly not one thing. It's layers. It's a belief system operating beneath your awareness. It's a relational environment that has learned to keep you in place, and has a spiritual disconnection that no amount of human effort can compensate for. The way out isn't another plan. It's not another book, another habit, or another 5-step framework. It's honest diagnosis followed by patient, faithful work on each layer. That's what the Steady Band series is about. Not quick fixes, not hype, just the slow, real difficult work of becoming the kind of man who actually moves, not just the kind of man who looks like he's moving.